The office of Assistant District Attorneys, Catherine Tate and Jonathan Steele.
Jonathan?
Catherine.
Listen, I know that eventually you're going to want to run for DA.
You know, Catherine, I don't like to talk about my ambitions when I'm in the middle of the case, but I'm going to rule this damn world.
What if I told you that our current DA, Eugene Reynolds, was seen by a certain someone imbibing in yellow snow?
The DA, the man who is my boss, and who I'm going to be running against soon in my surprise sabotage campaign attack, has been using yellow snow.
I thought you'd want to know.
Oh, I do want to know.
Might be something you could use. If you know what I mean.
Honestly, Catherine, I don't know what you mean.
Well, listen, let's get to this case. I don't know, we've got the murder weapon. We've got somewhat of a motive.
The thing we need, Catherine, is to figure out how the murder victim ended up in possession of that hatchet.
And why was he holding it? And why was Dr. Wilson's mucus?
Dr. Wilson. You know, Catherine, in a way, I understand a man like Dr. Wilson. A man who spent his life refining his skills. A man who spent his life becoming the best professional he can be, only to be lorded over by someone from the privileged class, someone oppressing him, making him work at a civil servant's salary when he gave up what could have been a lucrative career at a private law firm. I mean, not that.
I think you're on the wrong side of this case.
No. I know what I have to do. You and me, we're going to put Lebowski away. All I'm saying is that's the human spirit. If you oppress somebody long enough, they're going to snap.
Let me tell... Lebowski's already been killed.
Mr. Harrison Crofton, defense attorney.
Sorry to barge on the offer like this. You look great. Catherine, how you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm doing great. My client, of course, is detained. But I've come here to offer you a way out. Because there's no real strong case here. And I don't want to see both of you humiliated, of course.
No wrong's real case. Your client was at the scene of the crime. He lied about being at the scene of the crime, and he has admitted to selling yellow cocaine, which was of the exact strain found in the mucus of the murdered victim.
And his mucus is on the weapon.
Even though I understand the man.
What's your angle, Harrison?
My angle is that, yes, of course, lying is not a criminal defense. Well, in this case, you might think so. But it doesn't directly link to him having committed this crime. You have some mucus, you have some cocaine, but do you have anything else? A fingerprint of his, perhaps? You know, dentists in the dentist world, mucus is not an uncommon thing. And axe throwing is not uncommon. Many dentists, as we know, throw axes. So there are thousands, millions of ways that mucus and that axe could have come together.
Harrison, dentists wear face masks when they're with a patient. They wear gloves. They wear safety glasses. What kind of dentist lets his mucus membranes free?
You know, I never wanted to say this, but among us attorneys, you two are known as Laurel and Hardy.
Which one am I?
And I don't want to...
No, I'm serious. I want to.
I don't know that. John.
He's just trying to intimidate us.
Well, I'm just saying it's not fair to bring up a comparison like that and not have all the information.
It's archaic anyway. Who even knows who Laurel and Hardy are anymore? It doesn't matter.
They're black and white comedians from the 1925.
They do things with pianos.
Catherine,
Harrison,
you're too good for this job.
Harrison, my job is important. We are here to put criminals, people who have made deathly, horrible crimes,
When was the last...
behind bars.
Tell me, when was the last case that you had won? When? How long has it been?
Don't go there.
It's not about who wins and loses. It's about being on the right side of the law.
And you're letting him take you down. That's your mentor here?
Oh, take her down, am I? I'll just have you know that within 3 years, I'm going to be... you wait and see what I'm going to be.
I already know what you are.
Well, is it Laurel or Hardy?
The Lebowski dentist office. Oh, Charlie.
God, I'm sneezing so much ever since my appointment with Dr. Wilson.
Oh, can you believe it? I'm just cleaning up some of Dad's stuff and, well, now Dr. Wilson's stuff.
I can't believe he's gone.
You know,
I loved your dad.
I love my dad too, but if I'm being honest, I'm a little bit more sad that Dr. Wilson's in jail.
Why? He's a mean dentist. He like digs and digs and digs.
I thought you saw him like a father figure.
I saw your father like a father figure.
Oh, well, I saw Dr. Wilson a little bit differently. You can't tell anybody.
Ew! What?
I'm a grown woman. I like older men.
But that's a much older man.
That much older. Look, I was at the park last night with him.
Sarah, you're kidding me.
Do you think I need to tell somebody?
Yes!
I didn't do anything. I actually don't even know what happened.
Well, what did he do?
I don't know.
Sarah, tell me everything.
I mean, me and Dr. Wilson, we got close. And that night...
Not everything.
Okay, I'm going to tell you about that. We were out in the park. I was showing him some of the yellow snow. And
You're into that stuff?
my mom got me into it, actually. You know, she works at the deli.
Love your mom's deli.
Yeah, it's great. Just, we were at the park. And then, well, I saw my mom with Dr. Teeth.
Oh my God.
And then, I saw my dad. And then my dad saw me and Dr. Wilson. And then I passed out from the snow.
Sarah, that's it. Well, Wilson definitely killed him then.
We don't know that. He would never
Oh.
do that. He loves me.
Don't be ridiculous. He's using you to get under your dad's skin, or the skin that once was.
How can you say that?
Wilson is a wicked, wicked man and a mean, mean dentist, and he killed your father, and if you don't tell everyone about what you would happen there, I'm gonna.
You wouldn't.
I would.
The arraignment of James Wilson.
Your Honor, the people request remand. He is a threat to the community and should not be allowed out on the streets.
Counsel, any objections?
Yes, Your Honor, my client here is a respectful man in the community, dentist for 35 years, and there's no direct link to this crime towards my client.
I'm not the jury, son. We're just trying to figure out if he's gonna be a flight risk or
He's
not.
not guilty, Your Honor.
Your Honor, he happens to be an amateur pilot.
I mean, what is your recommendation for bail if we don't remand him?
You said bail, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I object. He's passing the buck.
Sustained. Please go on, counsel. Tell me how much.
We released my client here on time served and dismissed this case.
He hasn't served any time, Your Honor.
We're just trying to figure out if he's gonna be a flight risk or not.
Your Honor, he's a risk to the safety of our community. This dentist is walking around maskless, spreading mucus.
My mother died of mucus. For men.
Never mind.
That's it, you can go.
Next. Mrs. Lebowski's house. Mrs. Lebowski and the two lawyers.
So you have a collection of hatchets. Want some mustard? I don't touch that stuff anymore.
Mrs. Lebowski, I'd just like to show you this picture of your dead husband. You understand? We just had a
Please, sit.
We just had to confirm we're in the right house.
Why do you keep showing me things?
Tissue.
Mrs. Lebowski, I'll come right to the point. We know that you were also in the park that night.
You do?
Oh, yes, we do, Mrs. Lebowski.
Well, there's no point denying it then.
We have a trail of mustard.
And not only that, we have questions, Mrs. Lebowski, some things that don't add up. For example, why do you serve ham in your Jewish delicacy?
I'm part Catholic. I have to respect all sides of my heritage.
Angie, if you're hiding something, if you're holding anything back, it's only going to get worse. We need you to testify. We need to put this man away. We need to put Dr. Wilson behind bars. So if you were there that night, you need to tell us everything. Are you willing to testify?
I'm willing to testify.
New York State Supreme Court, Mrs. Lebowski on the stand. Done, done.
You're late. You're late. So you were saying... You saw Dr. Wilson brandishing a weapon. Please describe that weapon.
It was about 4 inches. With a long tin handle.
Would you say that it was a competition hatchet?
It was a ham slicing competition hatchet.
Was it covered with anything slimy?
It had kind of yellow mucus all over it.
Mrs. Lebowski. When you left the park that night, who was it that you saw? Can you point to that person now?
Don't you look away, you killed my husband!
No further questions.
Ms. Lebowski, is it true that you and my client were having an affair?
I object.
Yes or no?